Good morning, YouTube. Those of you familiar with my channel will recognise the white-winged choughs, which have just warned me that there's a snake, so therefore I fed them while I was booting the camera up. Good little choughs. To tell me that there was a red-belly black sunning itself sort of between my fire extinguisher and my cold safe. This fella's probably been under the hut and it's cold, so right at the moment I just gradually walk forward. We might be able to get a better view. It's sort of holding its ribs, and bear in mind there's the shadow on my head. So the idea is to present maximum surface area to the sun. To pick up maximum heat, to warm the muscles, so it can actually go places, put on a burst of speed if required. See how the neck immediately behind the head is fairly narrow, and then the whole body is splayed out until you get right down to the tail past the end of the abdomen. I once saw one of these curled up in an ellipse with its head at the center of the ellipse, and all of its ribs were arranged so that the whole thing became one single reflector. So while warming its body, it was reflecting sunlight onto its head for sort of high-speed warming. And I know people say I'm crazy for talking to snakes and getting around them barefoot. But I generally only do it with red-belly blacks, like this one. Because years and years ago, like 28 years ago, when I first came up here, I was setting off with a pick and a shovel over my shoulder, and while walking on the floor of the forest, I came across a red-belly black about twice as big as this. I guess this would be maybe 1.5 meters stretched out. So just visualise a 3-meter red-belly black, really big old girl. And I stopped and she stopped, and we weren't walking head on, but our tracks would have crossed in about another 3-4 meters. So I might have been 3 meters away from a 3-meter long red-belly black. And when I stopped, she looked at me and she sort of raised her head up a bit above knee height. And I thought, here I am towering over the top of her. I'm a human, traditionally enemy to a snake. I got a stick over my shoulder. I probably look pretty threatening. So to chill her out, I squatted down. So our eyes became sort of level. And I explained to her that I'd purchased a bit of paper which said that I was responsible for everything alive on 100 acres of the skin of planet Earth, and that I'd leave her and her kids alone if she left me and my kids alone, and she was welcome to eat as many antechinus's and mice and rats as she felt like. And yeah, since then I've got on pretty good with red-belly black snakes. I did once have a little bit of footage where on my very first camera phone, I walked into what turned out to be a gathering of 5 of them, and I'd seen one and walked up close to it like this, and then realised that there were 4 others surrounding me, and they were all sitting in the grass beside one of my dams, and I watched them all prospecting for mice and frogs and crickets. So yeah, I get along with the red-belly blacks pretty well. Where you going, girlie? Yeah, all right. See? Underneath my washing basket. So the deal is, I don't annoy the snake, and the snake doesn't annoy me. Doesn't want to go there after all. Yep. There we go. Come out from under the bathtub. Found another spot to sun itself. This time we have the white surface of the windshield around my bathtub as a reflector. So anyway, that's the snake of the day. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. The idea is to live within the ecology rather than try and bulldoze it off out to the edge of whatever patch of dirt you own. Ciao.